Hi everybody, I'm Tony Schaefer from What Drives Us, and this is one in a series of videos I'm making about hypermiling. You know, at its core, driving is relatively simple. You have two pedals and a steering wheel. But as with most things, it's how you manipulate those simple things that differentiate the bad from the average and the average from the good. And that's why in this video I want to talk about how you manipulate the accelerator pedal of your car. Now, have you ever heard someone say drive like there's an egg under the pedal? And we all know what that means. That means the point is not to smash the pedal against the floor, to drive with a light foot. Well, here's one thing I did to help me out. I moved my seat all the way back. And what that allowed me to do was take the pressure off my entire leg and transfer it onto just my foot. You see, originally I did that because I literally can't mash the pedal to the floor if I literally can't reach the floor. But what I found was my leg didn't get as tired because I wasn't using my thigh to control the pedal. I was using my toes. Now I just flex my foot and maybe flex my toes just to make very small adjustments to the pedal. So let's break that down. Your thighs are very good at moving a lot of weight. Every time you stand up, your thighs are working to move your weight. But they're really not that good at subtle, precise movements. Controlling the accelerator with your thigh will result in jerky movements. Now, your calves and your foot, on the other hand, are very good at making small, precise movements against the accelerator. That's what toes and calves do very well. So when you want to make very precise controlled movements with the pedal, consider moving your seat as far back as you can so that the pressure on the pedal is coming from your toes and your calves instead of your thighs. Your foot's ability to slide on the pedal also makes a huge difference. Now, to be clear, I'm talking about a controlled amount of movement between two objects. I'm not talking about somebody slipping on ice and busting their butt. So for example, you put your hands together and you move your fingers back and forth. You can feel your fingers sliding between themselves. That's the kind of slippage I'm talking about between your foot and the accelerator. Most accelerators have deep patterns etched into them, designed to keep the driver's foot on the pedal. And if you're driving with shoes like winter tires or tennis shoes, they also have very deep treads. And there's a good chance that they'll lock into each other, and that won't allow the kind of sliding that I'm talking about here. So I'm talking about shoes with smooth bottoms, like dress shoes with leather soles, or shoes with otherwise tight treads. Those will allow you to have that kind of slippage. So now that you have your smooth bottom shoes, we can talk about feathering the accelerator. But first I want to talk about, have you ever needed to push a car? The hardest part about pushing a car is getting it up to speed. You have to move all that weight and get up to speed. But once you're up to speed, you can pretty much just walk next to the car and just give it a little bit of nudge every time the car slows down a little bit, and you just keep it going. I mean, the point here is the amount of effort required to maintain speed is considerably less than the amount of effort required to start moving from a dead stop. And that's what I'm going to focus on here. This is where the fuel efficiency comes in. You see, what you do is, once you accelerate up to a decent cruising speed for traffic, for terrain, for the road that you are on, all of those matters, you have to take that into consideration. You ease off of the accelerator. You slide your foot just slightly off. Now, your speed will drop slightly because you've let off the accelerator. All you have to do is feather back in and just ease back up to a speed that you're comfortable with, and then you let off of the accelerator, and then your speed will drop, and then you feather back in. That's all you're doing. You're maintaining this feather control of the accelerator. The point here is to keep the car in a sweet spot where just a little bit of pressure is all that is needed to maintain speed. If you put too much pressure in, you're going to rev the engine up, and that's not what you want. If you apply too little pressure, you're going to lose all the momentum that you've built up, and that's going to require you to push the accelerator really hard. Now, this is not something you can do without paying attention. You have to pay attention to the amount of effort that the car is putting out, the foot pressure that you're applying to the pedal, the current and upcoming terrain of the road. This is not something you can do secondary. This is very mentally taxing, and it will wear you out if you're doing it correctly. But you will also see some amazing miles per gallon in fuel efficiency because of this. So, what have we learned? We've learned that it's a really good idea to move your seat back, if not all the way back, depending on, of course, the length of your legs. This will move the effort from your thighs to your foot and toes on how you control your pedal pressure. You should wear smooth bottomed shoes to allow a controlled amount of slippage between your foot and the pedal. This will help you better feather the pedal, which you should start practice doing as soon as you finish watching this video. I want to thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch this video. If you want to watch more videos about hypermiling, visit the What Drives Us YouTube page. That's where you'll find our weekly podcasts, car reviews, and a lot of other things. We record the podcasts live every Wednesday night with a live chat room. If you want to be notified when the shows start, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. Thanks again, and remember, I'm not asking you to drive less. Just drive better.